I'm Hannah Reagan, as y'all know. And then Jessica will be joining in a second, but we're going to be teaching you about using Google Forms and Google Sheets. Before I get started, does anybody need a run through of how to get screen share onto their Promethean? You do? Okay. So you press your arrow at the bottom, and then screen share. And then you'll have your code. And then you press the people. And then you enter your code.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay. So then I'll screen share, and then remember, if it's green, that's how you know touch is enabled. The first thing we're going to talk about is what we're addressing today. First, we're going to talk about Google Forms, and then we'll move into Google Sheets. And while we are doing both, you are going to be creating your own. You'll have some time at the end to finish creating your forms or sheets. And then at the end, we do have an exit survey, but it's a little lengthy, so you could take that with you. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Google Forms. So right now, I want you to take key notes and just think about how could you use Google Forms in your classroom. So, since we are talking about Google Forms, you should probably know what Google Forms is. Google Forms is a web-based survey platform, and it is free and included in your Google Workspace account. So everybody has access to it. So now we're going to look at it from the other side and how you can create one and utilize it in your position. So to get started, you're going to want to log into your Google Workspace account. And then you're going to find this icon. This is the Google Forms icon. And once you are there, we're going to make a new one. So I'm going to come around and just kind of check on everybody. Okay. So this is a cheat sheet, and really quick, I'm just going to go over this. This is what our agenda for Google Forms is going to look like. We're going to talk about creating a subject, adding submissions or your answer choices, and then how we can turn a survey into a point-valued quiz, sharing your form so that participants can access it, and then we will take each other's forms, just take one person's form, and then we will look at the data that was submitted and the email collection process, and then using the responses to view the summary, or by question, or individual submission, and then you can actually turn your data into a Google Sheets right from Google Form. So first we have a Padlet, and if you will use your phone to scan the QR code, and you are going to think about what topics would you be able to use in your room. And then after looking over each other's, once you have a good idea, you can go ahead and label your form. So now we've talked about getting the subject for our survey. Now we're going to talk about submissions and how we can make questions, different modes of answering questions, and different submission modalities. So now that we have two questions and we have two different submission modalities, we're going to talk about how we can turn this into a quiz with a point value and make the questions required by users. There's some things in there that are really important. So we're going to share our form with everybody in the room. Okay, so the timer is up, and now we're just gonna look at our responses. I'm just gonna show you, this was our response from our door decorating contest. So it shows you your percentages. You can hover over each color and it will tell you the raw score and then the name of the classroom. You can always go back and change your font, header, color, and then preview your form. And I will let you do that on your own time. And then if nobody has any questions for Google Form, that's the end of Google Forms. Everybody feel okay? All right, the last thing I'm gonna have you do is if you go back to Google Forms and you are at your responses at the top, it'll say link to sheets. Go ahead and press that. And it'll automatically create that for you.
Our sheets pretty much like this, really.
Yeah.
And then Jessica's going to dive into Google Sheets.
And then also before we close, we also are going to talk about the IT program as well to let you know why we're doing this. And then I've also added, of course, if you have any further questions, you can always reach out to Hannah or myself.